Hello and good evening, and welcome to the Shed. Tuesday evening. It's a week 5 review of the NFL, and a lot to talk about the Buffalo Bills. Not a very happy camper here, um, and our loss to the New England Patriots on Sunday night. But we'll get into that in a few minutes. Um, it was a very, very rough weekend on my predictions. I think in the 4 years I've been doing this to myself, this is by far the worst week I have ever had. Um, I got 4 right and 10 wrong. It kind of depletes the 15-1 I had a couple of weeks ago. But anyway, that's the joys of it, and that's why I don't bet. But anyway, I'll start and just go through quickly the games, that other games, and then I'll talk about the Bills and the Patriots at the end. I have another video later on with Therese. I meant to do this yesterday, but I thought better to say nothing and stay off the air until today, maybe calm down a little bit more, and then go through all the games and see how things go. So I'll go back to Thursday night. Seems like ages ago now. The 49ers at the Rams. So I picked the Rams to win. They didn't. They lost in overtime to the 49ers. I just seen highlights of that game. I didn't follow it too closely. I was working the next morning, so I didn't stay up. But from what I can see, the 49ers fully deserved it. Mac Jones was quarterback. And Mac Jones looks like a different man that was at the Mac Jones at New England and or Jacksonville. So fair play. He is doing a job, and I think he could push Brock Purdy for that job when Brock Purdy gets back to full fitness. Christian McCaffrey was a big tool in that game as well for them, and they made use of him, and he had a great game. The Rams, this is a big loss for them. They're kind of stuttering a bit, and for like on Thursday night, I went through all the injuries that were there, and the Rams had a few injuries. The 49ers had injuries a page long nearly, and that's why I picked the Rams to win, but it didn't work for them, and they didn't look like a team that's looking to push on in the NFC. But good win for the 49ers. They're now in pole position in that division. Then on Sunday, first game was the Vikings at the Browns in Tottenham Stadium. I picked the Vikings to win, and yabba dabba doo, they did win, just about. Dylan Gabriel had a great game. Carson Wentz, he didn't have Addison to play in the first quarter because he was off for disciplinary reasons. But Justin Jefferson did also have a great game too. He didn't score any touchdowns, but he made an awful lot of plays for them. The Vikings won. I would have been shocked if they didn't, but I've been shocked by a few other results down here, so anything can happen. The Browns do look like a team, though, that may be in 4 or 5 games' time, maybe challenge other teams once they get Dylan Gabriel bedded in right into that offense. Because today the news came that they've traded Joe Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I don't know, Jake Browning to Joe Flacco, I don't think there's much of a difference, but we'll see. I think that's a bad move for the Bengals, but I've been wrong before. But anyway, Dylan Gabriel is now the number 1 at Cleveland, and I think he's a guy that, given the chance, will lead this team. Then, this is what I should be smiling at when I was doing this video today. The Texans beating the Ravens 44-10 in Baltimore. Like, 44-10. Now, I know they were without Lamar Jackson, and apparently I heard a stat today where 151 or 155 million of their cap for this year was injured. But to beat the Ravens in Baltimore 44-10, and the Houston Texans before Sunday weren't playing great football. CJ Stroud looked great, their offense looked great, their defense even looked better, and it might be the game that kickstarts their season. I picked the Ravens. I was wrong. I should be smiling. I'm kind of smiling, but I'm not. Because there's more games that should be making me smile, but when I get to our game, it will take the smile off me. Then we had the Dolphins at the Panthers. I picked the Dolphins to win because I thought the Panthers were crap. Bryce Young turned up. The Dolphins went 17-0 up. Their defense kicked in, the Panthers. Their offense kicked in, and rightly, deservedly beat the Dolphins. And I think just because They've beaten the Jets. They won't finish last, but the Dolphins season is over now. Um, then we had the Raiders at the Colts. I picked the Colts. I didn't think it'd be 40 points to 6, but the Raiders are in big trouble. Geno Smith does not look like to be the guy for quarterback, and there's rumblings that he may be taken out soon. Daniel Jones, what can you say? Daniel Jones, fair play, man. You're playing brilliant. The Colts are playing brilliant. Other than the game they threw away against the Rams, they're 4-1 at the minute, and deservedly and rightly so, 4-1. So they're a team to watch. Their schedule should be pretty good. I don't have it in front of me, but they are one of the poorest teams that are in the NFL, so it shouldn't be the hardest schedule they have going into this year. Then we had the Giants and the Saints. I picked the Giants. They lost 14-26. Congratulations to the quarterback, Spencer Rattler, on his first win in the NFL. And they deserved to win it. Like Jackson Dart, he's a rookie. He made mistakes, but critical mistakes at times. Like he fumbled the ball, no one near him, and turned it over. But he learned from that. I still would rather him in there than Russell Wilson. The Giants season will be just win a few games and do not have a number one pick. The Saints, they're on the mark now. There's only one undefeated team, and we'll be talking about, or a team with no victory so far, and we'll be talking about them next. Then it was the Cowboys at the Jets, and the Jets are that team with 0 victories so far, and they lost 37-22. I did pick the Cowboys. Their defense is still very sketchy. They let the Jets score 22 points. Their offense, and Dak Prescott, he's playing great football. Pickens and co, he's finding them all. He's getting there, and they deserve victory. So the Cowboys are 2-2-1. So it's not a bad start for them. I don't think they're going to finish third in that division now, or last in that division. Excuse me. I think the Giants will finish last in that division. And then we had another game that should have a smile on my face. Is the Broncos at the Eagles. The Eagles were running away at it, I think it was 17-4 or 17-8 or 17-6, sorry, up at one stage. And the Broncos won 21-17 and fully deserved it. That game left us as the only undefeated team in the NFL until a few hours later. The Eagles, I don't know. I don't think all is right in that camp between Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts. Saquon Barkley looks to have slowed down a bit. Their defense is like their game so far. They've built up leads, then let teams back in it, but the teams can't finish it. So if you're an Eagles fan, there's no need to be too worried yet, but the issue would be your offense is not really clicking right. Then we go to the Tennessee Titans at the Cardinals, and the Cardinals were 21. I don't know, 3 or 6 up in this game, running away at it, and they lost 22-21, and they deserved to lose. They also had a touchdown like Donnie Mitchell's and the Colts against the Rams, where I think it was a running back. I think he's a third choice running back, was running through, and as he got to the goal line, just before he drops the ball, and no one near him. And they lost 22-21. The Cardinals, I think, will be finishing fourth in that division. I think they will not be going to any playoffs. Tennessee Titans get their first win of the year. At one stage, it didn't look too good, but they got through it and they got the points and beat them 22-21. And again, deservedly winners. So cannot crib about it. Then there was a cracker in Seattle. The Buccaneers against the Seahawks. I picked the Seahawks because Baker Mayfield has been carrying the Buccaneers on last-minute victory drives all the way, and at some stage you would think it would run out. But no, it didn't. They did it again. And the Buccaneers won 38-35. Sam Darnold had an exceptional game. Baker Mayfield had an exceptional game. Ibuku, or Ibuka, I don't know how you pronounce their wide receiver rookie, he's playing out of his skin. So was Jackson Smith and Jigba, and it was a real cracker and a real enjoyable game. And I watched it. You couldn't take your eyes off it because it was end to end, and every team had to go until the end. And then the Buccaneers, they got a turnover on their Seahawks' last drive, and then they went down, kicked the winning field goal, and fully deserved their victory. Then we had the Lions at the Bengals. I picked the Lions. They won 37-24. Jake Browning threw 3 interceptions, and apparently one of the stats from that game is coming up to halftime, Jamar Chase had more tackles than any one of the defense of his team. He had 3 tackles. He was the leading tackler, and him the wide receiver. The Bengals season was over, but I don't know why they went for Joe Flacco. Like Jameson Winston is there in New York, and yes, he's a head case throwing the ball. Half the time he'll throw an interception, but when you've got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, half the times you'll get touchdowns, and he might get enough touchdowns to get them over the hump in games. Joe Flacco is, I'm old. I'm a few years older than him yet, but he is slow. He slowed down that Browns offense. He's not a guy that will inspire you to go out and get victories, and he's got 2 loaded weapons, and they need quick ball, and we'll see will he give it to them. He may prove me wrong. Wouldn't be the first one. But anyway, I don't think it's a good choice. Then one of the shocks for me at the weekend was the Commanders at the Chargers. And yes, Jaden Daniels is back. When I did my report on Thursday night, my predictions, there was huge. Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel were not looking good. They did not practice on that day. So I was wondering where they're going to play. I'll be honest, I didn't follow the game too closely because my mind was elsewhere. But they battered the Chargers. And the Chargers now, from running away with the AFC West, are now Denver's there. We'll talk about the Chiefs in a minute, but they still won't be too far away. And for me, the Chargers are thrown away. Thrown away this AFC West when they had it in their pocket, especially after beating the Chiefs. Now, I'm going to skip over our game because I will talk about it in a minute. Monday Night Football, there was a cracker between the Chiefs and the Jags. Now, I didn't think it would be a cracker. The Chiefs were falling away. Then they came back. Then they went into the lead, and they were 28-24 up going into the last drive. And I think of a lot of it was Pox looking away because I don't believe in Trevor Lawrence. But even the last play to get the winning touchdown, he slipped. He kind of fell, got up. Luckily, no man touched him. Didn't get up right, fell again, got up, then run around, and then ran in for the touchdown. And yes, congratulations to Jacksonville. They're 4-1. Yes, they were hoorah, up-de-da. But I think an awful lot of it was Pox luck. And even the plays leading up to it, they were lucky getting certain things. And certain things he did was very naive. The Chiefs, they're 2-3. They're also a half game behind the Chargers because they lost the Chargers. Again, a game that should be making me smile. You know, you look at the Ravens lose, the Eagles lose, the Chiefs lose. You know, it should be a happy, happy weekend, and it's not. But anyway, I picked the Chiefs and the Jaguars won, so I was wrong there too. And then we come to the Bills and the Patriots. So, the Bills lost 23-20. Let's start with that. Congratulations to the Patriots. Hate saying it, but congratulations. Were we going to go 17-0 for the season? No, and I didn't expect. Now, I will still pick the Bills to win every game we play, but I also know that ain't going to happen because one team has only ever done it, and that was the Miami Dolphins. And it was built up for everything. Like, it was our rivalry's uniform. The stadium was white. The stadium looked amazing. The atmosphere looked amazing. Geez, I was wishing I was there. I was up at 5 o'clock Sunday morning for work, and I was still up at 5 o'clock Monday morning when the game finished. But I was a different man. Sunday morning getting up, I was looking forward to it. And Monday morning, I was absolutely sickened. And I'm sickened for a few reasons. Firstly, there's 30 teams in the NFL that I don't mind losing to. Not that you want to lose, but I don't mind losing to. And I mind losing to the Patriots and the Chiefs. I don't dislike them anything more than anyone else, but they're just my two teams that I picked that I do not want to lose to. That's firstly. Secondly, is Stephon Diggs. When he came back and his little, I don't want to get into it. I'll say something. So I just don't like Stephon Diggs. Uh, but then he came out. He came out and be the player that he should have been in Buffalo, that he wasn't, and just really rubbed people up. And the sad thing is, our defense didn't get a hand on him. Not a hand. Like, my God, if that was my dressing room, there'd be a picture of him up on the wall, and it'd be every time you get to go through him, you go through him in the story. And I couldn't believe it. They just, and they knew he was going to get ball. He's one of their top receivers in the Patriots, and yet they did not get a hand. Made them look good. Let me just give you how many yards he had. I think it was 146. Now, he didn't score a touchdown, but he had 146 receiving yards out of 10 receptions. 14.6 yards per reception. My God, we're supposed to be a team challenging for the Super Bowl. That is freaking pathetic. Josh Allen called our offense piss poor. Well, the whole team was piss poor, excuse my French. Um, Drake May threw for 273 yards. Now, he didn't throw for a touchdown. They ran their two touchdowns in, but he had a 73.3% completion rate. Uh, our run defense is absolutely crap, um, and has been crap. And the things that scare me is I'll go into our stats, sorry, first, and I'll just give you Josh Allen was 253 yards. Now, he threw two touchdowns. He had an interception. You're going to have interceptions. It's not the end of the world. He was never going to go the season without an interception, nor any quarterback will be. But my point, like Mahomes had one last night, was pick six. Josh Allen has to make these super plays. We shouldn't have to put Josh Allen into that predicament where we need Superman. He had to make another super run during the game to get us back into the game and back into field position. Our run game was absolutely obsolete. Like, let me go here now to our Russian. Josh Allen, 9 attempts, 53 yards. James Cook, 15 attempts, 49 yards. Josh Allen had more running yards on less attempts than our number one running back. Right? Ty Johnson, 2 attempts for 10 yards. He should be brought into the game more often. Kahil Shakir had 1 for 5 yards, and Ray Davis had 2 for a yard. Now, I don't know why they're not using Ray Davis more. They should be using Ty Johnson more. And James Cook, James Cook is brilliant, don't get me wrong, but these are the games he needs to shine, right? Our receptions. So Dalton Kincaid, this is a guy who has picked up hugely. 6 receptions out of 6 targets, 108 yards reception. Kahil Shakir, 6 for 9. Now that's not like Kahil. He'll usually catch the ball and sticks to him. He got 45 yards. Josh Palmer, 2 for 2, 36 yards. Curtis Samuel, 2 for 2, 26 yards, 1 touchdown. Keon Coleman, disciplined for the first drive because there's some shit going on that we don't know about. He needs to cop on, right? He is better than this. 4 for 7, and he had a fumble, right? He got 23 yards. Now he did get a touchdown, but uh, he needs. This is the guy I want to be up there with Dalton Kincaid at the top of our reception list every game. Um, then you go. We had fumbles. Like, it's given to Josh Allen, but there was a fumble from it. Um, and Keon Coleman had a fumble. But our whole offense the last night, it looked like they were on the beer the night before, or didn't sleep and were kept up all night by noise or some crap like that. Um, and the thing is, this is me first giving out about losing to the Patriots and losing to Stephon Diggs. This really annoys me. I am absolutely raging over this loss. And yes, I know we weren't going to go 17-0 in the regular season, but my God, at home, the last time them yokes will be coming into our stadium, they should have been bet out the gate. Now it opens up the AFC East because they have the win on us, and now they're only a game behind, well, half a game technically. I'm really upset. And if I came on here yesterday, a lot more would have been said. Now I'm going to talk about the season up to date. So the 5 games. We got lucky, and every team deserves a bit of luck at the first game of the season. It was the miracle from nowhere that we came back and we beat the Ravens. The Jets, we went and we beat them well. And this, and no disrespect, all NFL teams are equal. and all NFL teams, that's the great thing about it, is they're built to be equal. But at certain stages, a team will have an uphill, be at the top of the hill and be at the bottom of the hill. And right now, the Jets are at the bottom of the hill. And they're going to build, as years go by, they will build under Aaron Glynn. But we beat them the way we should have beat them. And in the fourth quarter, you rest your starters. Good, right? Then we had the Dolphins. Dolphins were too close for comfort, and we looked poor. Our defense looked poor, right? But our offense didn't click the way it should. But we got the win, and it was a right, like the Jets, a derby game as we call them here, but a divisional game. But excuse me, the Jets aren't in the same place as where the Dolphins are at right now. They're still building, and they're going to be a bit behind, even though the Dolphins are falling. But we made hard work of it, and we shouldn't have. Then we come and play the New Orleans Saints and their home turf. That should have been the Jets game of week 2, where you beat them out the gate, you take your starters off in the fourth quarter, and you rest them, and you let the backup guys in and get practice. They had us in the fourth quarter going down the field. If they weren't stopped, they were going to take the lead. I'm sorry, but not good enough, right? Not good enough. Again, our defense poor, and our offense not clicking right. We come up to the Patriots. Game week 5. Now, our defense did step up a little bit. There was 3 sacks. Greg Rousseau, right, need more from him, but he had a sack. He played well the last night. Um, then there was Shaq Thompson. He got a sack. And then Walker and AJ Epinesa got a half sack each. But these guys, we need more from them. Our offensive line, I know we're without Ed Oliver, but we need to be smashing through, getting on that quarterback, putting them under pressure. Drake May did make mistakes last night, but they weren't costly mistakes, and there wasn't enough pressure put on them. Now, they're not a Super Bowl team this year. They will be a Super Bowl contender in a few years' time, but right now they're not. Right now they're not. We are, or on paper we are. And so far in this year, our offense isn't clicking right. Right, we're getting bits and pieces where it's absolutely amazing. Other than the last 15 minutes against the Ravens, it's been hit and miss, and it's all across the board. Our defense, for all they've put into our defense, it's frightening. We're no better than where we were last year. We cannot stop the run, and we're letting the Patriots, who did not play an A game, right, but played enough to beat us in our own patch on the special night where them jerseys, for the last time, the rivalry uniforms was going to be wore. The whole place white and rocking, and you let them yokes in, and you let them beat you. Not good enough. And beat you is one thing, but beat you and deservedly win. Deservedly, the Patriots won that game, and I hate saying it. And deservedly, Stephon Diggs had a blinder, right? And not one of our guys touched him, and that is what really annoys me. He should have been. His picture should have been in that dressing room wall for that defense, and said he does not get the ball. He does not get. And if you took him out, you would have shut them down a lot of their plays. Not good enough. If we were the team that was building, you'd understand. You wouldn't be happy, but you'd understand. But it's not good enough. Uh, I don't come on here and give out much, but there is. I don't know whether it's something that has crept into the locker room. Like last year, Keon Coleman had his head down all year, from what I heard and watched. This year, he's now causing a little bit of hassle. Right? Sean McDermott was right what he did. He probably should have done what Kevin O'Connell did to Addison and bench him for the half or the first quarter. But like, these guys need to. They're getting paid millions. Like, I heard a story where they were questioning a certain team's approach to a game, and someone said, "Well, they might have gone out in the beer on a Saturday night." Now, you wouldn't go out in the beer here on a Saturday night if you were playing a football match on a Sunday, and we're amateur people over here, and I don't mean county, I mean club football, which is second to it'd be like the high school football to college football here, right? You wouldn't go out in the beer before a game, or even a week before the game here. You'd be resting. Um, Jesus Christ, they're getting paid millions, millions, and beer should be the last thing on their mind. Um, but anyway, I I don't think it's the Bills' issue is the beer. I'm just on about players in general. Yes, they have their own time and they have a lot of time off during the year, but when it's football time, they're getting paid huge amounts of money, play football and concentrate on it. Um, Miss Mr. Graffiti, hello, how are you keeping? I hope I said that right. If Josh Allen doesn't win a Super Bowl this year, is he a bust? Okay, so uh, thank you for your comment and thank you for watching the show. Uh, is he a bust? Not this year, no. But Josh Allen to me, right? So I love Josh Allen. I know, is it 10 or 12 Josh Allen jerseys of different types, forms, shapes. Josh Allen is part of the reason why I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. The Bills Mafia is the other part why I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. But what I like about Josh Allen is he'll go out, he'll lead his team, and if they go wrong or if things go wrong, he'll stand up and he'll take the blame. He'll take be the fault for it, even if he's not the fault for it. He will take it. I do believe the best thing that ever happened to Josh Allen was getting rid of Stephon Diggs out of that dressing room, and it hurted me the last night to see him have to hug that fella and that fella smiling, going, "I beat you." You know, uh, it really annoys me. If Josh Allen never wins a Super Bowl, and I hope he does for Josh Allen's sake and for the Buffalo Bills, I will always be a Josh Allen fan, because the plays, the stuff that guy does is second to none. I don't think there's a team in the NFL that wouldn't want to have Josh Allen. Will the media call him a bust if he doesn't win a Super Bowl? Probably. Um, I won't. Josh Allen is. If you see the pictures around the shed, there's an awful lot of Josh Allen because he is, for me, he is Buffalo. He is the guy that, with Sean McDermott and Brandon Bean, drives this team on. And I know there's other leaders in there. Deion Dawkins, a huge leader in there. Um, but if he doesn't win a Super Bowl, for me, he's not a bust because he's brought multiple pleasure moments in watching games and uh, things he does in games, hurling players, going through players. When the Bills need a play, he comes up with a play. Last year, I think, was the year that we should have won the Super Bowl. And I don't want it to be always harping on about that game in Kansas, but if there was a right set of referees there, I think we would have won the AFC that night, and we would have given the Eagles a way better game and could have won the Super Bowl. Uh, we're missing Mac Hollins this year, and I know he's at the Patriots, and they're not using him as much as what they should do. But Mac Hollins, I think, was a huge loss out of that team. He gave us a different angle. Now I know Josh Palmer has come in and has made a difference, and Moore has come in. Not so much Moore, but Palmer more. Curtis Samuel has shown a bit more as well, but Mac Hollins, he was on special teams. He brought an energy, and he was when you played him wide receiver, when you threw him the ball, watch the night in Kansas, he was brilliant. He is a huge loss. We don't have a number one wide receiver, and I have no issue with that. I know Kahil Shakir is our number one guy, and Kahil is very good, and I love Kahil Shakir. But we do not have that standout receiver, and you have to weigh up the books. If you get a standout receiver and he doesn't get all the ball, is he going to cause hassle in the dressing room? Probably. If you but we had Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs dropped balls, huge balls, and he dropped balls the night we lost to Kansas in the playoff game. The last season he was there, like he was open. We were going for a touchdown if he caught it. The defender didn't stop the ball getting to him, or to stop him getting the ball, and he dropped it. We had Gabe Davis, who was brilliant in spots, but dropped an awful lot of balls as well. I think Keon Coleman has the makings to be the wide receiver one, but he needs to grow up a little bit. If he wants to do something that pisses off Sean McDermott, then do it on the off season where it doesn't matter. We're in the business season now. Teams have been getting ready since last April for these next 17 weeks, 18 weeks, and then the playoffs, whoever makes them. We need to make sure we're that home team in that AFC Championship. And as I went through the games earlier on, a lot of them made me smile with the results, and then we blew it. And yes, we're going to have losses along the season, but not to your biggest rival in your division, and not to Stephon Diggs, who came back and just laughed at us, and we didn't do anything about it, and not when all them other teams blow and lose their games. And you known this, except for the Chiefs at the time. But the Chiefs were out of the picture, but you just let them back in. So I am disappointed and I am annoyed. Uh, Josh Allen is my hero, so I'm not going to say if he wins a Super Bowl or two or five, brilliant, and I'll be delighted. If he doesn't, I will enjoy every moment of Josh Allen, whatever he does. I'm a Mayo fan, and I've been to 11 All Irelands, and I've not seen Mayo win one. But them guys that played in them All Irelands, I have. There's 7 or 8 of them guys are my football and Irish football and Gaelic football heroes, and they're the guys. When my kids get older, I'll be showing. If you want to be a footballer, you have to be like these. If my kids get into American football and they're kind of looking at it a little bit more now, well, if they want to watch someone, Josh Allen is your guy. You can see him over my shoulder there when I was privileged to be standing under that big poster. And there's no other guy in American football I would show other than Josh Allen on the field, off the field, in the story. But thank you for your question. So anyway, folks, that is my kind of rant. I would have said a lot more, a lot worse yesterday, and thank God I didn't do it Sunday night. I did Sunday night watch Mike Thornton, and he did the second half live of the game on Nickel City Mafia, and I want to give a shout out to Nickel City Mafia, Mike Thornton and Jake Podger, because they're brilliant podcasts. If you get a chance, please watch them. I also seen Michael McQuaid and Mark Hogan on Virgin Media. Uh, they were on the couch as the game went on. These guys have worked their way up and worked hard, and it was absolutely delighted to see them finally been recognised here in Ireland for all the work they've put in. And well done, lads. I was proud to see on the couch. I know Michael was there the week before, but it's good to see the two of them on because the two of them have really put the hours in. And lastly, that's Pro Football Ireland. If you want to watch one of them, their podcasts. Gaelic Gridiron, Jimmy English. Again, another guy that has worked trojantly to grow NFL in Ireland. I was watching their podcast on YouTube this morning at Gaelic Gridiron, but he's going to London this weekend, so it'll be interesting to see. They're going to the who's playing in London? This is the Jets and the Broncos are playing in London, so he's going to that game. So if you're following social media, give at NFL Ireland, at Gaelic Gridiron, and at Nickel City Mafia. Give them 3 guys. Follow them. They're brilliant. Enjoy it. So, folks, thank you very much for watching. As I said, this is video 1 of video 2. I have 45 minutes or so before I have to get ready for video 2 with Therese. We'll talk a bit more, I suppose, about that, but I'll be asking her about the build-up of Sunday night and how it all went over there. But for me, I use this show to go through my brilliant picks or average picks or poor picks. And this week, there were very poor picks. But anyway, we'll have that and talk about the Bills game. And am I concerned going forward? Finally, as a Bills supporter, as a fan, I'm kinda, because that defense is not clicking, and our offense is stuttering. And Joe Brady and Bobby Babbage have either they're holding stuff back, and maybe they are, because the moments you see, even Sunday night, there was some brilliant plays. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is them penalties. Now, maybe them all weren't penalties, and maybe they were, but I'm an Irish NFL fan, and I don't know all the rules of the NFL, and that's fine because I'm an Irish man living in Ireland watching the NFL. Them guys are getting paid, and it's not just the Bills, nearly on every team, huge amounts of money. They should know the rules. And the amount of penalties that was given the last night against the Bills, and they were soul breakers, some of them. was absolutely stupid. I'm shutting up now. So thanks very much for watching, folks. Look at, I'll talk to you later on. If you want to follow me on Facebook, as at Trevor Marley. If you want to follow me on Instagram, as at the Irish Bills Mafia. YouTube is at the Irish Bills Mafia. And Twitter X, which is a waste of time really, but I'm there anyway as Irish_Bills. Any kind of comments or thoughts or want to chat about anything, I'm here. I love NFL. I'll talk about any NFL team. The last thing I want to say is my hats off this week is to Baker Mayfield. I didn't think he could do it 4 weeks out of 5, and he did. So fair play, Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Buccaneers. Folks, thank you very much for watching. God bless. Stay safe. Stay happy.